A Pomeranian puppy doesn't come at a bargain price. At least not if it is supposed to come from a trustworthy breeder. Anyone who discovers an unbelievable offer must assume that dubious businessmen are behind it who are selling dogs without papers or even worse, sick animals. A cheap legal alternative, however, is the animal shelter. Even if the price of a purebred Pomeranian may seem quite high at first glance, the breeder usually does not earn a golden nose with it. He has already invested too much money in advance to be able to set up a kennel at all. This starts with the right premises and extensive equipment, continues with high-quality feed, and usually does not end with the veterinary costs incurred and fees for various health reports. A Pomeranian puppy, therefore, costs around $1,000 in Europe. Pomeranian price. Initial cost. For a Pomeranian puppy from the breeder, at least $1,000 are due. If dwarf spits are offered at a price that is significantly lower, you should immediately become suspicious. If there is no emergency or other good reason why the dog would have to change hands immediately, in most cases it is an illegal puppy trade. Don't be afraid to contact the police if you have reasonable grounds for suspicion. It's not just about punishing a crime, but also about rescuing other dogs and possibly other pets. A dog from such transport can only be taken over after a longer and patient health check at the animal shelter. This is also a protection for the future dog owner, because it is very sad to have a puppy that is only ill and possibly doomed to an early death. In addition, not everyone can provide the necessary veterinary care, not to mention the expected veterinary costs. Noble pedigree and rare coloring drive the price up. But back to the reputable breeder. How deep you actually have to dig into your pocket for your little Pomeranian depends on the seller and his place of residence. In some areas of Europe, the Pomeranians are sold more expensively than in others. In addition, a particularly noble pedigree or rare color such as pure white can also drive up the price, so that the little one costs between $1,500 and $2,000, sometimes even more than $2,000. Since the Pomeranian is particularly popular at the moment, such sums are also common for the average Pomeranian puppy in some parts of Europe. Ultimately, supply and demand determine the price here as well. If you have already decided on a dog of a certain breed, you should not be stingy in the last few meters. You can also be sure that you will get a healthy dog. This is confirmed by veterinary reports commissioned by the breeder. If it doesn't have to be a purebred dog, the puppies cost significantly less and, with a bit of luck, can be had for around $800. Some hybrids, such as the Pomeranian Husky mix Pomsky, are even extremely popular and are the result of so-called random litters or are even deliberately sought after by some breeders. If these breeders belong to the VDH, the parents and the puppies themselves were subjected to a health check. You buy privately. You should definitely be able to trust these owners and have them submit a veterinary report without hesitation. Animal shelter as a possible contact point. The animal shelter is also a possible place to start looking for a Pomeranian puppy. These facilities have the advantage that you can take a close look at the dogs on site, talk to them, pet them, and also take older dogs for a test walk. However, it is of course a matter of luck if there is a Pomeranian among the many dogs that are usually housed in an animal shelter when you are on the lookout for one. If you discover a four-legged friend for yourself, you have to reckon with a fee of around $200 to $300 for the dog. If it is the first dog, You also have to factor in the cost of basic equipment in the acquisition costs. For example, you have to calculate around $40 for a good leash with a collar, then another $40 to $50 for a basket with a dog blanket or a dog cushion. There are bowls for about $10 and a transport box for about $70. Another $40 is to be estimated for care accessories such as brushes, combs, and shampoo, and another $20 for the first food. Most of the time you also buy toys, but they don't necessarily have to be there from the start. You should plan around $250 for the initial equipment. The running costs of a Pomeranian. First of all, we have the feed, which should definitely be of high quality. Luckily, such a small Pomeranian doesn't eat much to be full, which is why 50 cents to $1 a day can do it. This means you don't get more than $30 per month. Since care products such as dog shampoo and conditioner are very economical, these amount to around $12 a year. The dog tax can vary between $60 and $150 depending on where you live, and dog liability insurance costs around $40 a year. And then, of course, there are the vet costs. The annual basic vaccination for between $50 and $60, deworming, which is recommended every 3 months, for $10 to $15, and other parasite control agents for around $25 to $30. A Pomeranian comes to about $50 per month in running costs. Not included in this list are costs for a dog school, which is recommended in many cases at least in the beginning, and in scheduled expenses such as veterinary costs in the event of illness or payment for a dog kennel, if this should ever be needed. Purebred Pomeranian cost in the USA. A Pomeranian can be obtained from a breeder for anywhere from $500 to $6,000, though they are most commonly seen between $800 and $2,000. Specialty Poms like the Black Pomeranian can cost more.